These are the two key fobs that I purchased from Ford for my 2016 Ford Police Interceptor utility. They are two different part numbers from the same family. You can see one ends in A, one ends in C. The difference is that the one that ends in A has the panic button, a red button with a horn on it, and the one that ends in C has the trunk release, which is the blue button with the trunk icon. The blue button with the trunk icon is the one that is predominantly viewable online for Ford Police Interceptor utilities, but I read that either one of these would work, and so I thought I would try one of each and see which one I found more useful. So that being said, this one is already programmed. I'll press the lock button twice and you can hear maybe my horn honk outside. You might have heard the honk. This one is already programmed, and the nice thing about that is that I was able to program it without taking it out of the bag, because as it says, this package cannot be returned once opened. This one I was not able to program, the one with the panic button. And what I suspect, or what I hope, because this is the less common remote, perhaps it was sitting on a shelf for a few years and the battery just went dead. So I'm actually going to open this and replace the battery and try programming it again. This one already works. So this one, even though I ran through the programming for it twice, you can see when I press lock and unlock, nothing happens. Let's pop it open and see if we can inspect the battery. Okay, so the battery is definitely installed. What I'm going to do is just swap the batteries, because I know this one works. Pull the battery out of there. Pull the battery out of here. Then I'll put this battery into this fob. I'll close it back up. Actually, since I've already programmed this remote into the vehicle, I should just be able to press the buttons now that I've replaced the battery. So let's see if the panic button works. I don't know if you could hear that, but I definitely could. So the panic button works, which means this remote is compatible with the 2016 to 2019 Ford Police Interceptor utilities. And so I now have two functioning remotes. I will get a new battery for this remote. So that means my programming procedure worked, and it's really pretty simple. You'll need an OBD scan tool or dongle so that you can plug your laptop into your car. That's how you're going to program these fobs, is by connecting to your car. I recommend this one by OBD Link, and I'll provide a link to it down below. The other thing you'll need is ForScan. So it's free to download, and you can find it online at forscan.org. Download the software, and then you need to get an extended license so that you can access all the features. You can try a free trial. I was not able to activate my trial, so I ended up buying a license for 1 year. It's only a few dollars, and I think it's worth it. I appreciate you watching the video, but I really would like to know if it's been helpful to you. So please tell me if it's been helpful by liking it, subscribing, or leaving a comment below. So once you connect your laptop to your car and turn the key to the on position, you're going to open ForScan and click the little button in the bottom left corner of the window. This is going to tell ForScan to start communicating with your vehicle. It's going to start loading all of the modules in your vehicle and just figuring out what your vehicle is, and you'll know it's done once it says ready down here in the bottom of the screen. From there, you're going to click on the computer chip icon over at the left-hand side, and then click on the body control module. With that highlighted, go ahead and click the play button in the bottom left corner. This is going to open up the body control module and allow you to edit different parameters. The two that you need to edit here are highlighted on the screen and are called Remote Key Fob Learn and Remote Keyless Entry. Go ahead and one at a time enable them using the Edit Selected button towards the bottom left corner of the window. Once you have enabled both of them, go ahead and hit the right button, and this will save that setting to your body control module. Then hit the stop button in the bottom left, and this will take you back to the computer chip menu, where you can now click on RF keypad learning by 48 character tick code. So click on that and hit the play button again, and now you are starting the programming process. So it's just going to explain that it's going to program up to 4 remotes, and it's going to right away ask you for the 48 character tick code that is on that little barcode or QR code sticker that comes with your remote. If you don't have that sticker, open up the remote, it will be inside. It then asks you to press buttons in different orders and for different lengths of time. And honestly, I don't think you need to do any of this because my one remote was dead and it still worked. But if you're like me, you'll just feel better by pressing some buttons on the remote. So go ahead and press some buttons and then hit OK on this dialog. Once you hit this OK button, your remotes will start working. But go ahead and click through the rest of the programming prompts just to finish out the program. So which one should you buy? The one with the panic button or the one with the trunk release? One really common comment I see online is people say, well, the trunk button does not do anything. That is not true. So let's look and see exactly what these buttons do. Okay, so lock, very simple. Locks the vehicle, the lights go out. If you press it twice, nothing happens because you have to activate the horn honk feature in ForScan. I chose not to do that. When you unlock, one button press unlocks the driver's door, 2 unlocks everything. In my case, it also unlocks the trunk because I changed that setting in ForScan. Mine was set with the overhead trunk release button, and I found that inconvenient, so it now releases with the unlock button. Okay, so what about the special buttons? Panic alarm. As expected, sets off the panic alarm. So the trunk button, that blue button right there, what does it do? The trunk is locked, my vehicle is locked, and you press the button, nothing happens. So I think people just give up there. If you press and hold the button, nothing happens. Okay, the trick is press the button once, twice, now you can get in your trunk. Okay, it's really that simple, 2 button presses. The other thing that this remote changes, so this is something that I just had to figure out, it wasn't obvious to me at first, is that if I unlock my vehicle with a key and then hit the unlock button, my vehicle is now unlocked forever. If I unlock my vehicle with the remote here, now it is going to stay unlocked for a few minutes and then it is automatically going to lock again. So just know that unlocking it with the remote does start this auto lock countdown. I don't know if that's something you can deactivate in ForScan, but just be aware of it. So both of these remotes work. I like them both. Which one would I get if I had to get one? Probably the panic button, because I can already unlock my trunk just by unlocking the car. Did you see in that clip how I managed to not get my rear hatch closed all the way? Well, the key fobs can help you catch if you ever do that with any of your doors, if you leave anything ajar a little bit. Because when you go to lock it, press the lock button twice, and on the second press, it will honk the horn twice to let you know, hey, some door is ajar, go close your doors. Everything will still lock, but it's just letting you know that one of your doors is partially open. But the case where I could see the trunk button being useful is if you were walking up to your vehicle and you really did not want to unlock your vehicle. You only wanted to get in your trunk, then it would be useful. But I would buy the one with the panic alarm. It is a little more expensive typically, but I still recommend it.